Welcome to Forever, man. Let's go.
Hello and welcome, guys. Today we are talking ElClásico. I've got some of U.S. soccer's luminaries, some of the greatest to do it. Because this is a very, very special Clásico, we've got two Americans playing for Barcelona. This could be the very first time in history that we see Americans playing in this massive fixture that has so much history. So let me introduce you to our guests. We've got some incredible ones. First, let's start with Allie Long, our resident World Cup winner. Congratulations on that, Allie. She is an OL Reign midfielder, a two-time NWSL winner, and like I said, a current World Cup holder with the women's national team. Welcome, Allie Long.
Hi, thank you for having me.
For sure. And then we've got Captain America himself, Claudio Reyna, 112 caps with the U.S. women's national team, won the Scottish Premier League with Rangers. He's currently the sporting director for Austin FC, scheduled to start in MLS next year in 2021. Welcome, Claudio Reyna.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and last but certainly not least, we've got Stu Holden, America's commentator. You've heard him on literally everything. 25 caps with the U.S. men's national team, a bright career that unfortunately took a bit of a early end with injury, but we are so blessed to hear your voice and see your beautiful face on the airways every weekend. Stu, how you doing, man?
Aaron, great to see you, buddy.
Let's just kick it off and go with, what do you guys think about this being the first time that we'll likely see an American in ElClásico? And I'll start with you, Allie.
Well, to be honest, I think like a couple years ago, I never kind of would have imagined an ElClásico with an American in it. So for the first time ever for there to be an American, I think it just shows the way that the game is going and how much it's growing. And I'm so excited. I'm pretty sure I read that Conrad also goes by Conrad Dino, so I like that.
I mean, Allie, to your point, I think talking about predicting Americans or thinking about an American wearing the Barcelona shirt, and then, you know, Serginho Dest was being linked with Bayern and Barca. And then when it actually happens, you kind of have this like aha moment, and you're know now that American is at Barcelona. But then I have to say, I almost felt like an American soccer dad in a way, watching him make his debut the other day and coming on the field. I had goosebumps. You know, I was watching that game from the first minute, hoping that he'd get a chance to be on the field. I'm like breathing and living with every touch of his, hoping he completes passes. And, you know, this is me just being objectively just fanboying over an American being at Barcelona. Of course, not every moment's going to be great, but I think it's a moment that we need to celebrate. Claudio, thinking back to your days in American soccer, you know, imagining now that we have kids at some of the best clubs in all of Europe.
Yeah, it's truly unbelievable, remarkable that, you know, in different ways they've arrived to Barcelona. Serginho was bought from Ajax, and, you know, they see big potential in him. I think to be fair, you know, if he starts, which it looks like he will, he's going to be thrown right into the fire of ElClásico, which is the biggest game in the world of soccer, hands down, not even close compared to anything else over what it means for the cities. And so he's going to be right in there. He's a calm, cool player, so I think he'll be able to handle it. He has a lot of confidence in himself, but I think it's also, you know, we have to be smart with someone like Serginho. He has, I think, still less than 30 first-team appearances, so there will be some growth and a learning curve to play for Barcelona. But at the same time, you know, it's such a big game, and he's going to be thrown in there. It's going to be great to see how he reacts. And I think with Conrad, I've seen both of these players at 15, 16, and 17 years old, and, you know, Conrad's path is different. To see him get that jump, he's very much a 1v1 player that can come in and make the difference. And, you know, with him, his next step is really, if he gets in, he's got to contribute one way or the other and gain the trust of Koeman. But the fact that he's with those guys every day, both of them who they're training with every day, is incredible. So that, you know, they're just going to get better.
Yeah, that's such a good point. I think that the training environment that both of them are put in is just like so massive. I can't even imagine, you know, an 18-year-old in that environment compared to any other one in the U.S.
Incredible.
Just being able to grow every day is just probably like a dream come true. I would have loved that growing up.
Now, ElClásico is a fixture that has had some incredible moments over the years. Allie, I do believe you might be a Barcelona fan. I think I heard that. Do you have any specific memories? And I'll shoot this question to everyone so you can start thinking about it. But do you have any Clásico memories that like really stick out for you, specifically as a Barcelona fan?
So actually in 2016, I went to ElClásico in Barcelona. And it was probably one of the best experiences that I've ever been to. Just the environment and the fans and like the energy that you felt in there. And this was when it was Neymar, Suarez, Messi, Rakitic, Iniesta, Busquets, like everybody, Ronaldo, Cruz, Modric, like it was Casemiro, like it was one of the best of the best games that I've ever witnessed, and it ended up in a tie. But yeah, I just remember. I also remember, I think my favorite goal ever was scored by Xavi when the ball came behind him and he kind of like lifted it up over the goalie and just like tapped it in. I think I'll never forget that goal. But yes, I'm a huge Barca fan. Let's go Barca. And I hope they win. I'm tired of this.
Stu, you seem like a massive Barcelona and Real Madrid fan with your shirt on there.
Yeah, well, I mostly wore this because we've been beaten heavily by both of those teams. You know, my favorite moment was the Messi, holding his shirt up to the crowd where he took his shirt off. And you don't often see that from Lionel Messi. Like, you don't see Messi get so amped up and celebrating in a way that you would normally expect from Cristiano Ronaldo. So the fact that he did that and it just showed everybody that, yes, he is the GOAT.
I think the 5-0 that Barcelona, when they beat Real Madrid with Pep Guardiola, and they played just the most incredible soccer. It was almost like the birth that day of high pressing, the fastest combination soccer we've ever seen. And they just completely ran them off the park and won 5-0. And I never forget it. It was like the first time you saw soccer like from PlayStation live. It was and then I was at the game when Alexis Sanchez, the 2-0 chip, and I think it was about 6 years ago, and he chipped Casillas to go up 2-0, and it was amazing being live at a game as well. It's an amazing experience. It's always just the best game, and you just love watching it, and every game is so important for both teams. So again, going back to Serginho playing in this game, it's amazing to think that he's going to get the chance to play in this incredible rivalry.
We all had a different experience with ElClásico. Are there specific guys, even from before, Zidane, Laudrup, Schuster, Lineker, anyone you guys or players that you guys really, really seized upon when you were growing up that you just never went away from your thought process?
I remember when we played in the Olympics in '92 in Barcelona. They were like the team that just won that year the Champions League, and they had Pep Guardiola and Koeman and Romario, and that was like my earliest memory of really remember a team that was unbelievable. They had Hristo Stoichkov. Just after that, they just started to just like take over, and they had all these Spanish players, and you see again that style of play that Johan Cruyff brought in. It stayed all the way through. So that to me is my memory when I just started to see it all the way through. And then you see, Pep Guardiola, who played there, was the coach, and all the players that came through, and what it means to play for that jersey is unbelievable. And then at the same time at Real Madrid, they had just incredible, Raúl, Fernando Hierro, going all the way back, Bernd Schuster. I got the chance at Bayer Leverkusen to play with Bernd Schuster, and I always tell this story. It was the first time I was completely starstruck. He walked into the locker room after playing 13 years in Spain, and I was 20 years old, and I couldn't even believe it. I didn't know what to say to him, and there he was, the big blonde mop that I grew up watching was in the locker room, and he was insane to watch in training every day my first year as a professional.
It's a real thrill for these guys. I had, I think, 5 jerseys growing up. 2 of them were Barcelona. I had a Kluivert one, I had a Laudrup one, and then I had Zidane, I had Raúl, and I had a Beckham Real Madrid jersey, and these are like, you speak about all these players, these are stars. These are like as big as it gets. And that's what, to me, this game is always associated with, because Real Madrid and Barcelona will always have global superstars. They go about it in a little bit of a different way, but the Galacticos and all that stuff, it's just, it's a game that whenever it's on, you want to sit there and watch. And now you have Zidane, who was one of my favorite players of all time, who is now turned into a fantastic coach. And you know, I've loved watching his journey as well, and I still consider him one of the biggest stars as part of this game.
For sure. I think, like, I tend to love watching players in my position. I like to kind of learn from them and see them and what they do in situations. And so Zidane has always been one of my favorites, probably one of my favorite of all time. And then, of course, Sergio Busquets. I still love him and just what he does with the ball. He's class. So those are probably my two that, but also Ronaldo, like, phenomenal Ronaldo. Like, I think watching him, he's one of the best nines I've ever seen.
And speaking of the future, we've got Conrad, we've got Serginho, but both of these teams have bright young talents in their ranks. We've got Ansu Fati and Francisco Trincao for Barcelona. We've got Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo and Martin Odegaard on Real Madrid. Do you guys are there like any of those youngsters that you're really excited about to see in this fixture and just kind of in the future?
Yeah, all of them really. They're all big talents, but they're all exciting young talents, and you just hope they're patient enough with them, and that's what we'll see. But they're all really good players.
And so I'm so pumped for the future, for the next generation. I've kind of been like waiting for this moment to see these new guys and to see what they have. But I totally agree. I feel although they have players coming in, I don't really see the plan and what they're like really gonna accomplish throughout the longer period, especially the whole season.
How do you see this fixture going on the 24th and beyond? Which squad do you kind of see edging the other out? Do you guys see a trend? You talked a little bit about it, but let's talk about this fixture and then a little bit and then moving forward.
I like Real Madrid right now. I think this is a team that is last season won La Liga. They look again like they have the continuity. You still have guys like Sergio Ramos, who in a big game like this, you know, he's a guy that you want in your team. He's a guy that has won everything there is to win. And you mix that with the youth that they have, the organization, the tactical discipline under Zidane as well. I see them better poised in a game against a Barcelona team that I think still trying to figure out their identity of who they want to be under Koeman, and you know, a little bit of a change in system, a couple new players getting integrated. That's why I actually think this could be a 2 or 3-0 to Real Madrid.
Basically, what Stu said, I exactly agree. Is that Madrid have more continuity. They have more players that can sort of drag them out of a tough situation and bail them out with talent. But again, Barcelona have that one guy that could drag them and lead them to victory in a one-off game. He's just that amazing. So I think it'll be closer than sort of a 2 or 3-0, but I do think Real Madrid overall is just stronger. They just seem to have, again, more of the same faces. They know how to play with each other. Even though they're a little bit older, definitely, they still got enough just experience throughout the team that I think they're going to win this game.
I have to go with Barcelona because you guys.
Of course you do.
The first game is going to be like, it could be like a one-off where I think Barca can do this, but for the long haul, I don't know if they can hold on to it unless they get some new players.
All right. Well, ElClásico is October 24th. This is an incredible fixture made a little bit spicier for us Americans with Conradinho and Serginho Dest. Thank you to my guests, Claudio, Reyna, Stu, Holden, Allie Long. Thank you guys so much for being here. And you guys will catch it on the 24th. And thank you for joining us.